Once upon a time, in a small village nestled at the edge of a lush, enchanted forest, there lived a young girl named Lily. Lily was known for her kindness and her deep love for animals. She spent her days helping the village's farmers care for their animals, from cows to chickens and even the occasional squirrel that wandered into the village square. Lily's greatest dream was to have a pet of her own, someone who would be her constant companion, someone magical. She often imagined what it would be like to have a creature that no one else had, a creature that would be hers alone. One day, after a long morning of helping her neighbors, Lily decided to explore the forest that bordered the village. She had always been curious about the deeper parts of the forest, where the trees were older and the air smelled of mystery. As she wandered through the woods, she heard a soft rustling sound coming from a thicket of bushes. To her surprise, as she peered closer, she saw something incredible: a tiny baby dragon. It was no bigger than a kitten, with shimmering green scales that glittered in the sunlight. Its bright, curious eyes locked onto hers, and for a moment, neither of them moved. It was as if time had stopped. Lily couldn't believe what she was seeing. She had heard stories of dragons in the old tales told by the village elders, but she never imagined she would meet one herself. The dragon let out a small, almost playful chirp, and Lily, her heart racing with excitement, knelt down to gently lift it into her arms. "I'll take care of you," she whispered to the dragon, smiling as it nuzzled into her chest, warm and soft. With the dragon safely cradled in her arms, she made her way home, eager to tell her parents about her new magical friend. Life with a baby dragon was not as easy as Lily had hoped. At first, the little dragon was mischievous, flying around the house, knocking over vases and even setting the curtains on fire with its tiny bursts of flame. Lily would rush to put out the flames and laugh, knowing that it wasn't the dragon's fault. It was just a baby, after all. The dragon quickly grew, both in size and in personality. It was energetic, playful, and sometimes a bit too curious for its own good. Lily had to reinforce the house to keep her little dragon from breaking through walls or flying off into the sky. But through all the chaos, there was an undeniable bond between them. They became inseparable. Lily spent hours playing with the dragon, teaching it tricks, and even taking it for walks around the village. The villagers, at first wary, slowly began to accept the dragon, seeing the joy it brought to Lily. Then, one fateful day, a group of knights rode into the village. They were stern, clad in shining armor, and their faces were grim. The news they brought was even grimmer. Word had spread that dragons were once again roaming the lands, and these knights had been tasked with capturing or slaying any they found. Lily's heart sank. She couldn't let them take her dragon. The villagers, too, were afraid. There were many who believed dragons were dangerous creatures. As the knights marched toward her house, Lily's fear turned to determination. She knew she had to protect her friend at all costs. Without thinking, Lily ran to the village square and gathered all the children. "We have to stop them," she said. "We can't let them hurt my dragon." The children, who had come to love the dragon just as much as Lily, agreed without hesitation. Together, they gathered anything they could find: sticks, stones, old crates, and built a fortress around Lily's house. They worked quickly, and by the time the knights arrived, the children had created a sturdy barricade. The knights tried to push through, their swords clanging against the wooden barriers, but the children stood firm, their faces full of courage. "You can't have him," Lily called out, standing tall in front of her house. "My dragon is not a monster. He's my friend." The knights paused, taken aback by the bravery of the children. They had expected fear, but instead they saw a united front, with the villagers and children all standing together to protect the dragon. For a long moment, there was silence. Then the leader of the knights, an older man with a kind yet stern expression, lowered his sword. "We did not expect this," he said, his voice softening. "But we can see that this dragon is not a threat. Perhaps it is not the dragons we should fear, but the misunderstandings that arise when we don't take the time to understand each other." With that, the knights slowly turned and left the village, choosing not to engage in battle. They left with no dragon slain and no harm done, and the villagers cheered in triumph. From that day forward, Lily and her dragon became a symbol of courage and unity. People from far and wide came to see them, hear their story, and marvel at the magical creature that had once been a tiny lost baby in the forest. Lily knew that no matter what challenges life threw her way, as long as she had her dragon by her side, she could face anything. And together, they lived out the rest of their days in peace, proving that true friendship and bravery could overcome even the greatest of fears. And so, the legend of Lily and her baby dragon was passed down through the generations, inspiring others to stand up for what they believe in and to protect the things they love. And that, my friends, is the story of Lily and her dragon. A tale of courage, friendship, and standing up for what's right. What would you do if you found a magical creature in the forest? Would you protect it too? Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this story, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more amazing tales. And remember, sometimes the greatest adventures start with a little bit of courage.